All right, 7 o'clock. Get this rolling. It is January 16th, 2024, 7 p.m. Is the meeting, a combined annual meeting among the Stansbury Service Agency Board of Directors, the Greenbelt Service Area, and Recreation Service Area. Service Agency Board of Directors. Order. Other board members and trustees. Please say things.
Kyle Shields.
Gloria Sweet.
Matt Palmer.
We are missing John Wright tonight. We'll have a pledge of allegiance.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sheriff's reports. Thanks for being here.
Matter of fact,
Microphone.
you guys give me a copy of the mic, I think.
Yeah, just so we get better recording.
All right, for the sheriff's office, for the month of December of 2023, we had 200 details totaled down here. We conducted 112 traffic stops, issued 42 citations, 68 warnings. Out of those citations or those traffic stops, are 8 DUIs. We also had 17 misdemeanor arrests and 1 felony arrest in the Stansbury area. Honestly, nothing to know after I was looking through the stats today, just the general stuff we have, few thefts and crime of opportunity on vehicles. Nothing really big at all. It's pretty quiet.
What's the difference between an animal problem and a barking dog?
So she's how it's classified. They're pretty much the same thing. Our dispatcher only classifies anything as an animal problem. The deputy goes in and changes things in the nature to a barking dog. And more suit, so we kind of know what it is. Pretty much more or less the same thing. Could be a stray cat or stray animal, problem. Just depends on the individual pet and change their nature.
So you got 1 felony?
Yeah, 1 felony arrest. I'm trying to figure out what it was. I think it's coming in the theft category. My guess is probably a vehicle or something of that nature. I noticed that I was looking through the thefts, and that's what I.
We had some vandalism in our tunnel.
Yeah.
Was that December? Or, sorry, I was off a few weeks in December.
This is December.
Yeah, so if it was January, it would be on this list yet. I'm not going to see that report yet, so I still do patrol and all that stuff. So.
How many low?
We honestly haven't had a whole lot of the tunnel for a few months.
And this only affects the high school.
They also canceled. We need cameras in there.
had our camera over there for about 2 months. We've had it done, we had to move it somewhere else. So,
Well, I mean, we need one of those,
it's up to tell you that, so I'm very glad.
yes, something that, you know.
Anything else for the sheriff's office, any questions?
Thank you. Thank you for yours.
Look like any public can. I'll hang out for a minute,
Okay,
just in case, and all that, so appreciate it.
thank you. We don't see the fire chief, so we can move on to public comments. Seeing no residents or the public here to comment.
Yes.
So we'll go on to staff updates and reports. To you, Jim Gentleman, our interim general manager will present.
Okay, so I think the last time we met, he was out in one section. So we called the repair guy in. What happened was the filter box was full of gunk, and so we cleaned it out and we started it. Darren's now got Darren, who's got the procedure to do that. They did notice the filters had not been replaced in a while, so we put that on the maintenance schedule. One of the concerns is that wiring is probably 60 years old and it's chafing, so at some point. We do need to decide if we're going to set up a contract for HVAC to do that stuff, to look at some in-house, how we split that out. 2 of the units are 30+ years old, and you have 1 newer unit. That costs about $50,000 to put that up. So if the 2 older units fail, we want to look at another way of doing that. Individual units down. So we're looking at a cost benefit trade-off when we have to do a replacement plan. The other thing is that Darren mentioned that when we clean those heaters in the fall, he's concerned about the manifolds potentially pinholing. That's a problem because we had no fire or seal detectors. So we bought 6 of them, stationed around the clubhouse, just any shelf life things. Eventually, we're probably going to want to get those tied into the fire department system. As a stopgap, quick fix for a couple $100. Sensors in there, so. I didn't have a good picture of this last fall when we were looking at issues with the clubhouse. This is down in the old sauna area. You can see the leakage that started. We got those major snowstorms. We initially thought that was coming through the lower wall, so they pulled the dirt away there like that. It looks like it's coming higher, either under that deck attachment, going in the back door, or maybe even all the way up under. So that's one of the leaks we're going to have to look at. I just want to make everything ready. We do have that leak. We're probably going to buy some stuff like some dryer material in there just to protect the life is concerned about. Well, we had that checked a couple of times. It's seen mold. That's just dirt. So we want to keep the moisture. It's pretty much you get high enough water content. There's three other places there.
You might be able to hear each other.
Thank you.
He's gonna keep watering that,
So we can't see what's on the other side of the wall.
yeah, this deck out to the back door. Yeah. That's leaking. It's leaking down that wall. our best, if we can, might have a stop at some point.
How did you test them all?
We had the testing. Actions, we're in the process of renewing the liquor license for the golf course. Last year, that was transferred from Jeff Green, who was the individual that was leasing it from the Stansbury agency. The agency, unfortunately, we never changed the documentation after the state. So we're now going through the process of actually, they changed it to say they didn't tell us to do that. There are 3 actions that need to be done so that we can be compliant with the state. One is we need to have a responsible person action plan. They have a template for that. He was working on that. We have a layout of the pro shop and got prices. So submit all that with the renewal this year by the end of it. They had the initial Stansbury Days meeting. Sure.
Is that a full liquor license or beer?
Beer. It's beer. Beer one license. Stansbury Days held the first meeting. That was interesting. So one of the issues that came out of that, there's a document in your line that talks about it. It's the triathlon now wants to come back to understand it, but they want to keep their financing separate. In other words, they want us to assume the risk and have them collect from their sponsors to do it separate. So they wanted have us put them on our insurance. So we talked to the insurance folks and they said, no, you can't do it. They have to be an entity under you. So it's either a Stansbury event and we control or they have to have their own insurance in us. So we've got to get that back to triathlon. We're trying to talk about it. Tell them we can't do it that way. So they're going to have to go to their own groups. Stay on. Okay. I mentioned last month that we had a bid for equipment disposal. We have 6 items which have been classified by the various crews as inoperable, unrepairable, not cost effective to repair. There's 2 grasshopper mowers, ditch witch, which is a gas run, mining Mack truck, the old Lake hog harvester, and home. We got that was $2,000, which might seem low. For a second bidder, tell us if that's line. It's probably worth $2,000 for us just to put it so we our space, but we want to make sure we do that. The other one is the unused manure spreader. He offered $1,000 for that. That's been used once, I think. It's 4 years old. Go on and look at this price is $6 to $8K. We have a vendor that we're going to contact to see if they want to give us a better bid. So, stuff. We have a ton of stuff. We'll probably sell good stuff. That turn that back. Crypto space, collect some money. We talked last time about TNT. Yeah, we haven't got it. We just got a contact. I just want to run through some cost mitigation things that we talked about. Whatever. I had a meeting on the 8th of January with county. We talked a little bit about their grant process, what we can do. last time we talked about Gray's grant, we'll talk about that. So there are two grants that we're going to look at putting through the county. One is the tourism grant. That's an advertisement to bring people from Salt Lake out. England's putting together a package to do a corporate golf slash retreat type thing that we want to go there to Salt Lake. So we're thinking we can offset any advertising costs. The recreation grant guys that we closed out our grant last year said they were willing to entertain new grants. So we'll look at those grants and see what's available. That's a good question. I'm not grant like Sanders offered to take a look at. I don't think I have any. Those two are pretty easy, I think. We got the template. We did not review the Penguin contract. And we talked with the county about their contract, and they said, well, you get a bit and they can look at it for weakness, whatever. Basically, we're wrong about it. And we're talking about potential sell some water rights to a developer. Now that's kind of mixed reviews in the meetings. Brett's to look at water rights inventory. Plus, I don't know if they're still interested. They're also looking at their we are still looking at the lease / sale of properties, depending on how we can. It's the minimum there's at least 2 land property owners approaches idea chunks that are not outright sold. The biggest issue is what the bankruptcy agreement allows. Also, going to start up the adopted Greenbelt so that we can proceed on with pick up that maintenance. The maintenance actually without us. This is a quick look at finances. At the end, not much is going on. At the end of the year, distributed in those funds about 22. If you look at this is what we were this morning. Notice we're going to 50K or so. We did get a tax from the county that was late. That sort of counts. At Ingrid, working on a template to look at how we can present some quick overviews so that people understand. And so this is revenues, what we see in taxes and revenues, tourism, and whatever. And this would be, we're going to do this function areas, how we're spending it. So we're still working on this little presentation so it will make a little more sense.
More of that this way. Yeah, I'm just.
Okay. So that's where we're.
Our action items. Number 1, 2024, 1, 8, 1, possible. This lovely binder.
I don't have any comments.
Okay. There's no.
I'll caution that we adopt the minutes of meeting on January.
Brett?
Yes.
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 Yes. Minutes are approved. Action item number 2, 2024, 128, report from the board hiring committee for the general manager position. For hiring committee for the general manager position, select our 2 board members for that. So Brett Palmer and Kyle Shields have been working on our general manager search. So who wants to start?
We received several applicants for the GM position. We narrowed it down to 3 candidates. We have had a phone interview with 3 candidates. We asked 6 initial questions. First question was, what is your interest in applying for this position? And then the second question was, how much do you know about the Stansbury Service Agency organization going overseas? What is your salary expectation? If offered less, will you accept the position? If offered, what would you accept? Are you currently employed? Next 2 questions were, how would you describe your management style? What is your approach to navigation? And what does the phrase public trust mean to you, and how do you project and trust in Stansbury Park as a successful candidate? The 3 candidates that we selected was Ronald Chandler, Lane Jenkins, and Jim Manzelka. We were impressed with all the candidates. However, the question regarding what is your salary expectation, when we asked that question, Lane, we have the budget in mind. We don't know that we have a strain on our budget right now. And so we were trying to get a flavor for what they would accept, because the offer was advertised as 8,000 plus benefits. But we felt that question was important because right now we don't really have money to expand. So Lane Jenkins said that he could not accept 7,000 or less. Ron Chandler said that he may be willing to take less than the advertised price, but he wanted to have a further discussion on that. Yes, Jim has offered the same question, and he said that he would be willing to take $60,000 a year, and because he was retired from employment, all his retirement was pretty much taken care of, so he really needed benefits. So either one of the 3 applicants will do a good job based on their resumes, and so that's kind of where we're at.
No, I mean, I would just add that's, we know, of course, but the other 2, it's hard to walk. And so. Here.
So if the committee has a recommendation, what's your recommendation?
two printed.
So I guess it all depends on if what you want to do with the salary. If we're looking at the budget, we're trying to make every penny stretch. Jim has been the acting manager for the past 6 months. Both me and Kyle are new to the board, so we don't know a lot of the history, but I think he's not familiar with the things that he's done to help organization where we're at now. Change. So I guess really it just depends on at least until we can get some more money in the budget. Jim said maybe we'll need to stay for a year or two to get on our feet. So there's that option to go with Jim if we think the budget warrants trying to cut as much as we can. And I would say my recommendation is Jim, if you're saying that the budget's not that critical, then we need to have more conversation.
I'm really uncomfortable with this conversation. I was a candidate sitting here, really uncomfortable with this. Well, no, because it's not the position. I just feel like, could we move this to the closed session? And excuse our interim general manager? I just feel like, if I was sitting in his chair, I probably, well, I don't even want to say what
I think the open meetings, to use our open meetings on clearly allows for discussion of professional competency.
if we're just talking about budget, we can continue this conversation. But if we're talking about anything else other than that, it ought to go in close, in my opinion, and I'll.
I'm fine. I guess it comes down to the budget.
Well, I don't know. I don't think we're just gonna get the cheapest candidate out there. That's not what we're trying to do. I think we want to definitely, this has to be skills. We've developed both of those requirements, so.
This is awkward. It's just a little awkward. We've got a fabulous candidate sitting there who is willing to come in at a substantially lower entry point and not have benefits laid on top of it. And we want to stop this and interview and carry this further and spend money that we don't have. What's the actual number in our budget, Ingrid? GM. You have it all included at 8. Okay.
And we knew that going into this. So that's why we picked the questions we did.
Your questions are fabulous.
Yeah.
Really good questions.
So.
Yeah, so as far as the budget, I'm not saying that, I think that's kind of a thing, but it does play into the hiring. And it does have an effect, right? So as far as going into a closed session and discussing personal confidence, those things, that's fine. But I thought we would have a discussion about what we are looking at financially. If that's how much does the salary play a part in where we're at budget wise?
I mean, I think if all things are equal, then we pay less, right? For any service.
question that the board has to decide on how we want to move forward, right? If we want to consider the cost to go with 50,000, if Jim's going to come to work at that price, with benefits, it's $127,000. Is that right? Annually with retirement, health insurance, we would offer that up, but that would be something that you would reject a lot of accept because of the state. So
I feel like that we're getting into some. I mean, if we're gonna look at their resumes and consider all their answers to their questions, I think that is more appropriate. I'll entertain motions to make a movement or consider this later in the session. Table it, so.
Well, I'll give you an opinion, and I'll stand by it. I think we've got the best of the best right now under our noses, right here. I think he's done a tremendous job of not only leading Stansbury, but stabilizing the agency and helping us look at and plan for and be strategic with issues that we're still dealing with in the flow tonight. I just think we're wasting time if we don't make an offer to a candidate who is going to come in at a lower price without benefits, who has the expertise we need this time.
do you feel like you want to have more discussion, or do you want to move on to the next item? Like,
I think we have to resolve this item in some way, either we're move it to a session later, or.
so it says report from the board hiring committee for GM position, and then the next item is discussion and possible decision to offer GM position to select a candidate. I don't know if two separate.
So I received, okay, so I received a report, all right. Now, and we're beginning to discuss, I just don't.
Well, the candidate hasn't been selected by the selection committee.
Right.
They brought 3 finalists to us.
Yeah. Right.
So do you guys have a candidate you're selecting to recommend to us, or do you not?
So I guess my decision would be based on the salary, what we decide. I feel like that's an important thing. That we can get, we know Jim's history for the past 6 months. If he's willing to come to work and help the agency get back on track, that's what I'm saying. Because I feel like the budget, we can get into that amount, and that helps our budget. And then once we get our feet under us, get more money in to naturally operate, then we can look at higher level. So that's where I'm at.
So are you suggesting 1 year more of a contract offer?
I'm not saying it's a 1-year contract. If Jim feels like he can extend and we all feel like he's doing a good job and he wants to extend longer, that's just better for the for the service agency. So for me, it just hinges primarily that way, as we've seen Jim's history. So if the board says, hey, let's not consider the budget, then I would say, okay, well, then if the budget's not a problem or a consideration, then we need to spend some more time with these other two candidates. Does that make sense? Because I don't feel we should be, Clerk should be responsible for making an ultimate choice and decision on how the board moves forward. So I guess that's where I'm at. Kyle?
Yeah, usually you have more on that, whether it's employee, whatever. Yeah, I just feel like we have 3 great teams. And if you were to look at the resumes, you would see that we have 3 great candidates. I guess it all comes down to we don't have $157,000. So we're going with recommend Jim, who has been doing it. He's at least amount of money. 2 years down the road, when things are stabilized and we have money and we can actually offer a position and somebody actually wants to come here, then we move forward that way. But Jim's told us that it's 2 to 3 years. That's what it is.
So if you're wanting a recommendation, my recommendation is I appreciate it.
I don't want to do this, it sounds like there's still some hesitancy, so I would recommend we go into closed session.
Who's start? You're saying there's hesitancy on maybe.
Oh, it just sounded like you're hesitant to make a recommendation, there's some hesitancy to talk in depth about these candidates,
Oh.
because last second. So I just want to be able to, I mean, this discussion does feel pretty awkward and pretty.
Well, it's done now. I mean, there's no sense in going into closed session now. Everything's out that we would be discussing. I think, I'm sad that we're not looking at the track record of Jim and knowing that to the degree that it deserves to be known. He's been here 7, 8 months now, and he's not taken a cent from this agency. He's been here day and night, weekends, and we have not paid a cent for his expertise. His expertise, he stabilized the agency, I don't know.
He cleaned up the budget, he's worked very well with it, he's worked very well with our operations team, working well with all
He
fours.
tough decisions. As he said, sit in front of somebody and tell them that they're fired. We can't afford it. Those are tough decisions. And he did it with courtesy and graciousness and very little kickback from those that received that message. I just feel like we're not, I know those other candidates are fabulous. I really love to keep them on our radar, but I don't think we have a choice. I think the budget has got to dictate everything this year. And recognizing the talents and achievements that Jim has brought to the table and helped us with. It's the right thing to do. For the position can. I would like to go into closed session to discuss compensation. We're going to go that way.
I think compensation is really key to the role.
Well, I mean, are we saying,
I think the details as far as we have, he said 50 to 60,000, so I think needs to be discussed. And then an offer needs to be made based upon what board agrees on. I don't know, I guess, is that considered collective bargaining as far as discussion of the close?
You want a motion? Yes, please. I'm going to move that the position is offered to Jen Hanselka. And that the selection committee sit down with Jim and negotiate. The compensation is within the range of 50 to 60,000. Bring that back to the board. So that we are aware of what compensation Mr. Hanselka is looking at. I have a motion.
Second. Yes.
Steve. I don't want to be any part of it.
I also think that's passes. Next step into the selection committee. Very welcome. They don't keep at the selection. For sure, but question. Thanks, Jim. Okay. Number 3, 2024, selections. For the year 2020. Do you have information from John? Do you have something from John in terms of the officers or anything? John, okay, thanks. John just sort of, he was just speaking for himself, what he would like to be considered for, and he wanted to, I guess this is young in the service area. Maintains positions chair of the recreation service area, and he wanted to stay. Should we start top down? Start with chair. So our officers meet, need a chair. We are not required, our policy and procedure does not require that we have a vice chair, is that correct? We, secretary? Clerk, treasurer, and a treasurer. So 3 positions is what what we absolutely have to have. The clerk, treasurer have to be board members, and they can't be the same.
Who is currently serving as the clerk? Who's currently the treasurer?
You guys have a promotion? As far as board chair goes, I've been for a couple of years and then that's that. And Brett. How do we want to do? Should we just like go position by position and vote on that? Or should we? If I'm allowed to nominate, then so is your motion to, have you offered a motion? It's weird, because I am the chair right now, so I don't know. I should make a motion. But that's. Or if someone else wants to know, someone else, that we can have a vote. I have the motion. I'd like to make a motion that we Brett and accept him as chair. And the motion. Good, we want it, yeah.
Well, I don't want to, I will.
I mean, you're in the same spot as me, brand new on this thing. We're just trying to get it going, so I'm just like, okay.
Long you're willing to, I mean, yeah, just.
You asked a lot of questions, and you want to try,
We just
What-
have to
I agree with that, but. I'm not sure what it is. I'm really good at motions. I would like to spend more time with policies and maybe. Brett just has fabulous relationships with a lot of already. Pastor in situations. Represented general impressions of him, he has a lot of integrity. And right, he's a very.
Rest of them, I'll say. Yes.
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 So we're not required to have a vice chair, but we can if we want to.
It's nice to have a vice chair.
I think usually if we don't have a vice chair, then it's just the second or like the longest standing board member to take over. That's really.
Just,
All right. Treasurer and clerk. Okay, so a little bit about this. But I think, if we had a bigger organization, then it would make sense to have a staff member who's in the nitty-gritty of the finances. Treasurer. As a treasurer, the treasurer has some specific responsibilities that that person can delegate. But I do kind of like that it keeps having board members, treasurer keeps that responsibility at the board level, and it's not as easy to pass the buck. I would kind of have a really thorough board member. Maria,
We can't nominate somebody's not here.
they would have to accept. We should vote on it and see there.
Well, so Tucker, I can ask you, are you
Is this part open for any public comment later? I know I can't give it now, but is it open later for public comment?
I think we're past that part.
Oh, okay.
But
I said to ask, sorry, I was a little late.
do you guys want to reopen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I love to hear from people.
So are we stuck in this conversation right now? do this?
No, you don't have to, I was just curious, I'll
Can we
see.
finish one thing?
Does it pertain to this
Yeah,
item?
I just had a question on a public level, like, if that position is offered to James, would this affect the changes, and wouldn't you table this until you could get all board members here to make decisions? And if he happened to flex and not be the chair of something because he's now the GM, would that alter this workflow anyway?
So it would, so that is gonna take us a while to get another board member if that works out and Jim. So we can revisit this later, but I think it's good to get people in positions.
Sure.
So we can keep.
No, I thoroughly agree. I just wanted to see if that was gonna flex anything, and then it's definitely clear on which ones have to be board members and which ones could be potentially community members. Because I would be interested in a few of these, so I was curious on where that lands. That's all I wanted to ask. If it was beyond the comment, thank you, sorry.
Thank you, okay, thank you.
Okay, here's one we can take care of. I move that we keep Ingrid, the named clerk as the board. Ingrid has such an attention. Very thorough.
Appreciate all that she's doing behind the scenes to support this organization, keep it strong. We have an amazing staff. For anyone that's like listening to this, my goodness, I'm so grateful for Ingrid, Leanne, and Darren, and Gordon, Jim, just everyone that we have in leadership positions here on Stafford. So dedicated, and do really well.
So you have a motion, if Ingrid's willing to stay on as clerk.
Also. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, treasurer.
I would like to nominate Cass. Well, okay, so
I would be open to, like, I would be on, I don't know, audit committee.
yeah.
I can't hear.
How do you feel about being first?
I like that my realm is capital projects.
Would you be willing to take the position and then we could revisit it when the board is settled, if Jim actually accepts the GM position and we have a board member and
Yeah.
I would make a motion that we nominate Kyle Shields as the interim treasurer. Until we have until everything shakes out with the GM position. We know we have a board member position that will be open.
I guess I'll say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll bring you back on the committee then. You know what you're doing. All right, committees. So now Brett's brought up and just seeing, like, did, Loretta ever talk to you about?
Going to reach out to him tomorrow and see steps.
So the question is, when we're on the phone, so all of these are just, they're not like, all of these committees. I'm sure we welcome community members into like the finance committee, but they're not noticed like these big open are. And that's fine, because they're usually triggers we were, Stansbury service area board members on there. But Brett brought up that, some have Greenbelt service area, some recreation service area, so for those, two people, so we have two people in the same service area that these might have.
This is correct. Talking about how we would do retail versus this stabilized, execution wise. That's why retail operations.
That would be a whole Stansbury service agency.
Talking about ownership and access. And that would all. That's what.
Okay.
So, to me, capital projects and policy, those are definitely service agency. Finance committees because it's into budget. So, my take is on that how we want to make sure we have one person plus talk about. So that's sort of the way that I would look from what Brent told me, that's the way I would. So, and there's nothing that says we have to decide on this committee's time. Bill, how you think? Having said that, finance committee agrees that that would be your split. So that would be, and then you can decide how many non-board members you. The audit committee, I think needs to be non-board members, is that right?
The what?
Audit committee, does that have non-board members?
They should not, they could not be on the finance, but it is recommended to have people outside that have knowledge of government accounting. So they were suggesting if we have, if we were a small city, we have going up a small agency, we have another agency, like, spread, and the person that does the accounting, they could be on the audit. Oh. That's in the commission, I know, you guys.
And that committee hasn't been
Right.
set up yet, but
That's one.
we want,
Need to form.
yes.
Formalizing the policy.
And we should get these, I mean, I know we could have put it off, but I think we should just get rolling, right? And then we have to make some changes.
How far out are we from having, if all of this shakes in and our selected candidate takes the position, how far out are we on the selection of a new board member? How long does that position have to be advertised?
30 days.
30 days, okay? So
And it has to be reviewed.
And that's,
it has to be interviewed and voted on, exactly. So could we, assuming the best case scenario, would we possibly be starting interviews in February, mid-February? Perhaps earlier, maybe in the best scenario?
Would be mid-February, 16th of January, the earliest.
Would be what?
every
Well,
17.
If, I mean, we still have like some negotiations to do, we have appointed the general manager, we have received Jim's resignation, so.
That's what I'm saying, I think we almost have to table these. Or just run, I don't know.
Well, no, like right now, our policy committee is still tapped unless someone wants to step in there. I mean, I just don't see why we would just not do anything with it until March if we've got people here to do stuff, so. I think we should.
Guess one question I would have, do we, if Randall Hinton is still willing to serve on capital project committee as a resident, is that something that we want to do or?
Randall's usage is fine.
Yeah.
So it might be an issue for him. Kyle's expressing.
Yeah, that goes back to two people on the.
But that doesn't, according to what Brent told us, that doesn't matter. Is that right, Jim?
Because that's an
It's an execution.
So that would be Kyle, Brett, John. That would be three.
question is Kyle's now.
Well, he's not, no, he's not on two committees. Right, but that's a position you have to. Are you good for a couple months doing both?
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I feel like the finance committee, that would go through, it's oversight, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to dive into everything. Yeah,
So capital is where you want to be.
yeah, I prefer, I mean, that's,
Okay.
I mean, but I'm also with that, so. But I'm with the, yeah.
Like that position is filled, they can continue to function as is, if Randall wants to step down, then still members of Kyle. What's the put into that, capital projects committee?
We need a motion to do that, or
I think the bylaws say that they're going to set the chair with the rest in the board, so. I guess that's right. Am I supposed to still run this meeting, or do you just take over right now? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm supposed to take over.
So how does the policy read? That it's appointed by the chair?
Put by the chair with like advice.
So we discussed this, and so I guess.
Yeah, and he could make that overnight, appointment tomorrow.
Right, right. And we don't, yeah, we don't have to go.
I just assume take action that I can be done with it. So I guess I would like to appoint Kyle to serve on the capital project group. And I was off the board, just and then vacancy. And then on the finance committee. I'm sorry. Did we decide on the finance committee? Who is the chair of that committee?
Typically, it's
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, so that would be also the lead of the college.
What do you want the motion to be?
For Kyle to serve on the capital project planning and for Kyle to serve as treasurer.
As stated, I make the motion that Kyle serves on the capital committee and the finance committee. I'll say that.
We will do the policy.
Yes, it was a policy committee without change.
Unless Mary wanted to join up. Hey, I'm not thinking about maybe joining the policy
Appreciate all of that.
It's been moved and seconded, call for Kyle.
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes,
Brett, yes. Motion passes. Right, I'm gonna have to start paying attention. That's okay, we all agree, my understanding is that it's still being formed.
We got one.
So the policy committees to write that charter meetings or the other items, I guess it'd be with the items. The policy committee, write a draft of it.
Right, so, we are in the, discussion possible of the January 3rd, 2024 Stansbury Recreation Service Area Board of Trustee minutes.
That's Kyle. Look, I read those minutes and so I need to read this.
Selection of Stansbury Recreation Service Area Board of Trustees Chair.
John. You'd like to stay chair.
That's here.
I mean, this is the rest.
You did what you want. Okay.
So, we can let him say yes, unless he doesn't really want to.
yes, yes. I just don't want to be volunteer, right?
Second,
I'll second from the chair.
Yes.
this is for the Stansbury Greenbelt Service Area meeting. This is first item on the agenda is discuss and possible approval of January 3rd, 2023 staff and Greenbelt Service Area Board of Trustees minutes. I didn't have any comments.
I think I got substantially correct, so I'll make a motion that we approve.
We've heard, Jim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes,
And I vote yes also. Motion carries. Next item is Stansbury Service Agency Board of Directors Business Meeting. First item of the agenda is discussion and possible approval of the meeting schedule.
do we need to do the Greenbelt chair?
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
And on that note is the, you're on the Greenbelt, right? Could we, would you entertain a motion that, people, the chair position, the chair nomination?
Sure.
Yeah, you could be chair, you could be chair.
Sure.
All right. Too busy. So I'll make a motion that Brett, assumes the role of the chair of Greenbelt.
Jim, I vote
Yes.
Yes,
Brad, yes. Okay, sorry about that. Stansbury Service Agency Board of Directors Business Meeting, first item on the agenda is discussion and possible approval of amended 2024 board meeting schedule.
Highlighted the points that were issued. Probably most pages we went through, but the 31st meeting we moved to the 16th, which is where we are now. So we probably need to adjust that on the schedule unless you do it. And the 14th, there was some concern about that being comprehensive. So,
Is there any other concern with the new dates as proposed?
so are we have a replacement date for February 14th?
Great question.
I mean, y'all can spend Valentine's with me.
Service agency work meeting. I will recall it. That's it.
We have to do,
We do have another board member.
We'll have plan that.
Just starting the search that week.
So we need to go to the 7th or the 21st.
we would get together to introduce someone and
That's what we want to talk about.
So we can go to the 21st. February 14th, meeting, February 23rd, and 1st, and cancel the January 1st. That is that.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Kyle,
Yes.
Cassandra,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Maria.
Yes.
This item is 2024.01.07A, possible ratification of previously approved 2024 schedule.
So, fee schedules that we approved are in post. Basically, all we're doing is that one of the stipulations in the current policy is that we have to do claim. Scratch that through and come to. Already started terms.
Does anybody have any further comments or questions on that? All right. So 2024 administrative policies.
Like down to the number. That's not.
So, how does ratification differ from the motion?
Registries previously approved. So we're just saying we ratify what we agreed on.
I'm just ratified. One second.
We will be seconded. Senator?
Yes.
Passes. Next item is possible ratification of previously approved 2024 administrative policies.
All this means is like we're adopting all the policies.
So will there be some kind of this year review of policy that's real?
Policy committee, whatever you like to call it.
We're just kind of saying, what we got right now is what we're going to buy.
It's like the president. I agree with all existing policies. That's-
I think this would do a really good job of trying to change those, the draft. And then
That is a problem.
it's so easy because when I got on there, it was like policies here, also some are files, some are websites, some are does some are. It's all of them fixed, the least, you know.
Motion to ratify the previously approved 2024 administrative policies.
So moved.
Well, that's all on, no, I just don't know what they are, so.
That's kind of a hesitancy on my part as well. We did not see them, but
Yeah.
if we're simply just saying we're going to live by the existing policies that are in place already, I am not changing anything that I'm okay with. I think that's just kind of the best use.
Yeah.
And so we are on, would you rather have a hard copy?
No,
Well, we're fine, it's just that, yeah, we just have that.
So we probably have to just, you really want to just.
And so I would rather just say, if we're going to, like, that's what's on the agenda, to ratify the existing administrative policies, so. If it's just saying that they are what they are, we're living by them based on a previous board's approval. And
And then as you read them, if you have suggestions, then.
a motion to take. Motion in second.
I'll vote yes.
Sandra? Yep.
Yes.
Motion passes. Possible application of previously approved employee benefit package.
So he approves of this, that, and that the rates in place. Work to, rate where we are going to, employees are paying.
Just the increase of 2% or something.
Yeah, we took that. All the second year.
Like part of the modality, it's just, tax the top.
Any motion to ratify the previously approved employee benefit Jim?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes.
Next item is board discussion and possible approval of contract.
So in your packet is their business plan. And the contract that she is willing to sign. What we did was we took the existing contract, modified it. So we will use that as a template. We're reading 10%. We did put in there whole $100 a day, which is what we would normally do if it was like a food truck. So then there will be $300 to use as a that. So that's what the we're at 100.
So this is what it's talking about, like, should this be in our fee schedule? 10%.
Because it's a contract, it's not standard fee.
That's how we charge the next person.
Charge them. Well, that's the next step, but this wasn't out there. So this was a one-time proof of principle, so the contract to principle. That looks like they're going for that and food trucks or whatever. Standard rate that. Whereas one off right now. About enough to do.
Good point. Yeah, we're gonna. Maybe we change. No, you're not changing the fee.
Just maybe for clarification, I thought that we had good insight last meeting that said that we can't give preferential treatment to one bidder over the other. So, how does this fall in line with the existing policy?
Well, we don't really have a policy. They're talking about taking and require a policy. That's what we are thinking. So that's in line with what we're planning for policy.
So in my world, this would be an event. So that this is kind of,
But I'm having the same position about this. I think that this is an event. Business enterprise. It's not like us inviting 6 food trucks in. Where we need a menu policy with 6 food trucks. We're not picking the park. Picking the park is doing that. It seems odd that we're taking part of the sales. Seems like she ought to, I mean, if I came and I said, I want to take my family and have a good friend time. I'm gonna put up 10, I'm gonna be there for 3 hours. What would
Talk about that. Typically, we would charge for $100. You said you would prefer
Oh, yeah.
10%. So both 10% of the sales in there, but we're collecting $100 from a rental fee.
So if our sales are greater, it 10% her sales, or 10% of sales is greater than $100, we're gonna make more than $100.
That's the way you do it.
But we're,
Not that, that's the way.
right, but we're talking about creating a second food truck. And night, whatever, right? That's different than perfectly.
What we're trying to do is establish a template. So say, I want to have property park, we're going to charge people. Sell all the crops and stuff. We want to use your facilities, our business, what's the charge? Already ready to sports. Already.
This was just in advance, so there's event fees. That's, yeah.
It's different than having a family.
Right. That's exactly, that's what I'm doing with the contract. But I thought we came out of it. Something different. Contract. That's a similar contract.
We should probably. But if I have to do it differently. Oh, they. So that's why I don't think it.
We're open to other options. Part of this is written, they have to do it. Yes. What's the- Oh, that's good. If they're doing an event, they have to. So that's not on us. How?
I mean, I'm okay with moving forward with this, but I think we need to look at it.
Well, obviously, we're not going to do it. I'm perfectly willing to just drop out.
Yes, we just, good.
So that was a way to handle it. If there's a better way. Well,
Is she trying to do that?
Yeah.
Nice for, taxation. I don't know if this thing of Kyle is that's other responsibilities. Coming. Just make sure we're fair.
I mean, ultimately, that's it. It's the fairness thing, right? Everybody has to have an opportunity to do this.
I'm okay with this. I'll talk to you later. But, yeah. Let's explore. Here, in addition to the county. I think we left it to the county and not. up to the county, but-
this agreement is a hurt us in any creation of funds.
Yes.
Setting precedents.
We want to look it up all the ways. I keep this Valentine's Day right, but I'm not going to meet someone's schedule if we as a board don't feel, I would be so confident with the direction of the morning.
I just don't want to can't work, that's what I have done. You know,
I also don't want to shut people down, just because someone comes up, comes to us with a novel idea, we don't have to handle it the first time, doesn't mean. Or, like, I just don't want to shut people down.
Well, and we're not a licensing entity. We are, this board, we're not a licensing entity. She's not using her logo, this is not an event under Stansbury days. I'm comfortable with this right now, and we can talk about.
Can't we just do it as an event?
Develop stuff.
CFS for an event. No, they run it. But it's considered their event, we're just allowed to use the land.
Right, that's what it says.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's like if they're renting a clubhouse.
That's a ground rose, but
There's legal liability.
yeah, it's legal liability. He's got a lot of liability stuff in there. to protect us.
Did you want public comment?
So we're already on the motion in a second. Are we still discussing? We're in the motion. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna make a motion that we move forward with this and, kind of look at, what some other parts viewing and options and that would, just some information to the board.
Very much the second. Sandra?
Yes.
Jim?
Yeah.
Maria?
Yes.
I vote yes. Kyle?
Yes.
And the motion passes. Next item on the agenda is discussion and organization of committee to establish audit committee. Do we have any recommendations from, I guess, this management or staff have any recommendations or revisions to serve on the audit committee?
Do we have guidelines from the state?
We do, I sent you guys an email, I don't think how and received it. Again, shortly.
The two guidelines that I do is they have to be external to the finance committee. And they are not limited to the board. So they have to be somebody that's familiar with code. I'll probably say you talk about it.
I would recommend that management and staff come with recommendations for the board to consider. So on the audit committee.
Probably.
This is in regard to the report that Adam presented on. So,
We had two negative ones. One was that we did have a formal
so I do want to provide some clarification. Those are obviously things that we're supposed to have in place to financially make sure that we're as sound as we can be.
It's no members of management having any plans to be on the audit. are the only,
We had the North Dakota County Fire Department with our same audit that it's bid, and it's bid itself in the North Dakota County Fire Department as they've done their audits in the past, and so another agency is recommended as well. I think overall, the recommendations on that financial report, there's a low risk, medium risk, and high risk, and it's not required to fulfill every single one of those requirements to get 100%, so to speak. But I think it is important to help with the requirements.
So maybe it's possible to that us and with yours and most of the fire somehow form an audit committee so that there's group that looks at all three of them. You know, so obviously we want to maybe we can just
So let's look into that and make sure we revisit that next week on that information. Can be made available.
Like, well, we can continue about that, right? So when we like,
yeah, I choose this meeting because we need to start talking about, we want to do it, how do we want to do it, what's the mechanism for doing it? Or anything there that we hanging out and talk about.
So I entertain a motion to table the audit committee discussion and give GM and staff the ability to reach out and make recommendations to the board to be considered at future meeting date. Whether that's next month or March. It's not required. We don't have, those audits are due annually, so just sometime in 2024. We need to complete that out. So I don't know if it's having a case in February, but March will probably be doable.
Later in the year, you just need to get started thinking about.
okay, there are too many names to put forward right now anyway. I mean, so it's gotta be tabled. You know, which one- I mean, it's just like, do you want to make an assignment that who should write this document? Otherwise. I think whether it's finance or, like, who's gonna write, yeah, it's like, do you want the policy committee to do that? Do you want the general manager to do that?
I think there's specific language on the function of the audit committee. So if Jim's staff can pull that, visit it, look at it, and then make recommendations.
To read the policy.
We have a charter. Didn't it come through the finance committee? Then it, I mean, from the state. So it should be housed under the finance committee.
I would.
I sent you.
I'll make a motion to take this.
And we want to have, look at.
We'll let the finance committee work with the staff.
Party motion. A motion on the table and a second.
Second.
The second, Kyle.
Yes.
Senator.
Yes.
Jim? William?
Yes.
Yes as well. Presentation of raised grant proposal for 2023. Outbreak and 2024 bid potential.
Okay, so last fall, we had we submitted a raise grant. This grant is primarily a surface grant. We were looking at clean money and other trails. it does require matching funds. The advantage to this is it's a multiple year execution. So if we submitted this year, got raised grant money, we would not have to execute it until 2 to 3 years. We could get some initial upfront planning money and move on. There's also an opportunity to just get planning. It's evaluated on 8 criteria: safety, environmental sustainability. In our 2023 grant outreach, we scored 6 medium and 2 lows. They require at least 1 high to move on to the next level. So we would have to improve at least 1 of those mediums and break the 2 lows up. We had 2 lows on supporting information and innovation, meaning that we weren't innovative enough in how we were getting grants or how we were what we were going to do with it. The 2024 grant announcement is open until the end of February. That's a pretty short window for us if we want to look at improving the grant we've got. So I was just sort of looking for a little guidance as to, do we think we want to try for the 2024 grant? Do we want to spend more time working on what was in the grant?
Being a former grant writer, I would suggest that we wait till 25. We address the 2 lows. We can address it when we leave this up to is for writing or is it actual conditions?
Talking to the grant writers at Wayne Penguin, they started this. The GM took it over and wrote it herself and didn't have sufficient information to put into the grant. They were not very helpful, in my opinion, as to what we really could do to fix it. But we did get some suggestions, like for supporting information. We need to probably spend some time to look at UDOT information, federal government information, as far as transportation sustainability. So I think we have some paths to move forward on it. I agree with Maria to a certain degree that this is awfully tight for trying to get grant at that level. So we do have one to work on that's got a certain level of comfort for us. So I just wanted to make sure that we were all in agreement with where we want to go.
Dollars on the table.
Grant went in for 1.5 million and required 500,000. Yeah, well, that's why I said it was on the advantages we have here executing. So I will admit this is not my forte.
Do we have what's the match you said?
I think it was 64.
We have the 40.
Not for this year.
When did they make the award?
They made the award for this year in August.
So they would expect us to. Just like it works. It's like blowing. We don't have the match.
So that's my concern.
We don't have to, yeah.
We don't have funds to match it. Does it make sense to do?
Or what I'm saying is you repeat that.
You would have,
Question is, if you have it looked like it was 3 to 4 years.
Like other communities to help. I mean, I do, I love
It's a good amount of money, certainly, the question is, plus up the program. Advantage is if we submit this year, we still don't get.
I never.
Not like I said.
Like, you're from the right words, everybody can write it. I would see how far I can get.
I'll help. I've done it. I'll help.
Let's just see how far we can get. If we can get some, it's not in your package. So I will say this. It's gotta be significantly better than what we submitted, because we won't, if we go, if we get turned down, we get more lows, and we still don't come in at a high. Next year, if we are in a position to really apply for it, we have, it's, our application is going to be scored on the fact that we have submitted well, quality requests. Would you read it? Would you read it? Or submitting it? I'll read it, but I don't have the expertise with UDOT. I've done one grant with UDOT. But they, right, UDOT. Oh, I thought, UDOT. I've not done anything on this.
It sounds like you have to take it. I say,
Then you can look at it, and you're like, oh, it's not ready to get submitted.
yeah, okay.
So this public comment, is this public comment in relationship to this raised and proposal? We have any public comment?
Tons. How much time do I have?
Public comment.
3 minutes.
Am I just commenting on this or am I commenting on anything?
Just come up there and say, hey, speak to the mic.
Just on this? I'm a master of 479 Country Club. This particular topic, I'm just curious why we wouldn't try to actually do it. I know the federal grants, there's county grants, state grants, or like called smart grants. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, just take a stab. Because if we don't try something, and even if you come back and you get scored low, like Maria was saying, I don't know how it works, but you keep going and you keep getting feedback. If you're willing to open to feedback, every grant writer shows up, every grant writer always can do better. I've been turned over tons and tons of grants. But at the same time, you still come back, and I think if you're going to not do this base to try and get this, even if you can get all of it, it's still something you can make, not raise taxes to the max level next year. And then you can make that surplus or deficit, if you will, for the lack of the GM stuff, taking this and taking that, and more salaries. I'm not trying to intercede, but this is a 3-minute thing, so I'm really trying to hurry. My thing is it's just, you're willing to do capital projects to put that money in there for a home or a fix or a recreation want, give, these are a recreation agency, I get that. But you have to be willing to pause the capital projects, sacrifice bid, take the things that are there in front of you, which is Jim, like she mentioned, I fully support it, he's doing a fantastic job. But you look at it and say, if we're gonna pause this, we're gonna get money for something like this, put that under baseline. Brett, excuse me, you're familiar with your name, he mentioned the same thing. We're being thrifty in certain areas, but we're not being thrifty in others. If you want a stab of this money, even if you don't get all of it, why not try? I will volunteer Whether I can be, preface to some of the information, I don't care. I will at least help you write it. I will help look over it if you want my help. But if you don't try it, it's just gonna have more and more, lack of a better word, anarchy within the community, because why would you turn down an option and tax higher just in case if that baseline, your guys are trying to reconnect and leaving money on the table? I just think it's.
Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, so I'm a little confused. So we have 2023 grant. So is that off the table?
Yeah,
Okay, so we're talking about 2024 grant that was due at the end of February. Okay, so the item on the agenda is board discussion and possible direction for the 2024 raise grant. So I will entertain a motion to move forward with the 2024 grant. And it's due at the end. So what, Kyle, you want to make a motion? Is that what I just heard you say?
Well, you said it, I just added to it. So, yeah, I'll make a motion that, Cassandra, take a look at this and see if we can get that deadline.
With help from.
Help from the public. If we can't get turned into. That's right.
So in the outreach, they indicated they would like us. So they were supportive of us.
What office is this? Very good job.
So we have a motion and a second. You vote. Yes. Sandra? Jim? Yes. Will? I vote yes as well.
Well, I'm comfortable now with this secure like this. So before, I'm not there. We're not.
I think you send that all of us. For deadline. And see if we all.
Well, I don't know the as good as you can, let's see what we can get done.
All I can say is no, so you're not that.
All right, let's move on. Last month I asked for discussion, for the tools, of our financial warrants.
Well, I want to say one thing before we move on. This sort of comes out of the policy committee, it's not in the policy committee yet. One of the issues we had was the verbiage of the policy committee said that the general manager could do anything that's in the budget. Policy committee. So we sort of mapped out what expenses we thought should be taken basis by the GM as the designated. Payroll was one. That's sort of what we're on. Those are some. Emergency repairs.
Thank you for that. If I may, this is our 17B1 system which you talks about district expenditures. It says the board of trustees in each special district shall approve all expenditures of the district except as otherwise provided in this section. It says the board of trustees may authorize the district manager or other official approved by the board to act as the financial officer for the purpose of approving A, payroll checks. If the checks are prepared in accordance with the schedule approved by the board. And B, routine expenditures such as utility bills, payroll related expenses, supplies and materials. Number 3, notwithstanding subsection 2, the board of trustees shall, at least quarterly, review all expenditures authorized by the financial officer. 4 reads, the board of trustees shall set a maximum sum for which all purchases may be made without board's approval. So I thought that with the section 3 where it says at least quarterly review all expenditures, I would like to, that's a minimum requirement. And so the reason I suggested that we approve the expenses on a monthly basis is because they're preparing the report anyway. And so just so we're doing this on a monthly basis, it's just as easy to do that on a monthly basis as it is on a quarterly basis. Then if we have any questions or concerns on the monthly expenses, even though some of them may be pre-authorized budget, at least we can see what those are. So, and the other thing that I'm not sure we have in policies, that would be the other item, right? 4, that the board of trustees shall set maximum sum of which all purchases may not be.
But there is a lot of this.
We can look into those thresholds, maybe to that next week. So in our board packet, this month, we did provide the invoice register. So if you want to, I do have a couple of questions. So on the first line item, there's an expense for security. Description, there is no description on there, so we're just wondering, is that security for the office, or the shops, or what that is? It's $41. What's that? It's an ACH. And it's $41.94.
So that's,
security.
yeah. I'm happy to put more of a description. The way that it gets is 52 is always going to be golf. So that's going to be for
So is that all shop?
and then 53 is going to be recreation. So I can put, you want me to start putting the location?
So recreation,
We can give you a legend, put it on 51 a letter. And we have to do it 53 recreation, that would be a wish part. But I can start putting descriptions of like the building that it is if you.
yeah, and
Yeah,
so,
that's fine.
so on the next one where it says pressure fines, it says maintenance. I would just, like, where were they used?
So that's 57, so that'd be cemetery. So it'd be for, but again,
So
so these is where it's showing the work that it's in, but I'm happy to put,
that would be,
yeah, that's like right.
that would be great, so I don't have to. I appreciate that.
Question, I have a couple of questions.
Probably this one last year. Yeah. Prior year date, we were at 4739.88 in rentals. Clubhouse.
Prior to the day,
We can take some, like, I'm kind of looking at a few of these.
Now, you need to remember, yes, it is correct, but you remember we have shown me.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, they gave us a 3,000 check.
Okay, perfect, okay.
It should have been recorded.
And then the miscellaneous, under miscellaneous revenue, prior year to date, we have 34,165. And this is done.
Miscellaneous, we never know, but, so $27,336.05. We had paid them and then they sent us a check. So they sent us a bill and we paid them again and then sent us.
that one was still paying.
Well, they did it again this year. You know, we pay them and then they do not answer, they say we owe, so we have to pay them again, but we have interest, and they realize that we had already paid it.
Of the self-dollar and the range. Year to date, so, I mean, prior year to date, 763, but now we're saying that, 763 or more.
Because the check every month for us, so now. That's the only issue we received.
If we really spend $1,084 on natural gas clubhouse, it's not. Natural gas clubhouse, 53,274. Yeah.
You want us to get older?
No, I'm not using it now. I haven't really spent that much money with this phone. Is that because of our events we're having?
I think someone reserves the clubhouse with heating it, and so we have to heat it longer, and I feel like our heating system probably is not. We tried to.
Cleaning the filters will help a lot.
Yeah.
What's that? It's like cleaning the filters will help a lot.
But then the system was having really hard time turning it back on. I had it at 60 and we were waiting for it to work. We went.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have. And I love this. I love having this report.
It's really good. Thank you. for putting this
It's awesome,
together.
guys.
Any other discussion on the warrants or financials?
I do want to make a comment. I'm looking at a few of these and the cost of and our expenses are way down in several categories. And that takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication and not fun discussions to get those expenses down in some of these areas. So good job, Jim and Ingrid and Tanya.
Thank you. So I'll move for approval of the financials if someone wants to approve the financials for the last day. Notes, I should say.
So
Now is $46,621.06. Board member reports and discussion items.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jim?
Yes.
Yes.
Board member reports and discussion items. Sandra? Jim?
No.
Will? Motion for, entertaining motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn on the closed session for personnel.
Second.
So, the closed session is to discuss what we discuss personnel.
Character of
Competence of the individual. Okay. And, we need to identify who will be invited into the closed session.
Yes. Board members and.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have a second?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, take it roll, Kyle, Sandra,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Maria,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Motion passes.
These are nice, guys. These are nice. Thank you.
Residents, I can't even know her. But you're right.
She complains about you give her more.